parents drove me up, Dad clutching the steering wheel, and Mom staring straight ahead as we listened to NPR for 6 hours with the windows down, not saying anything. Dinner was long over, and it was almost lights out by the time I'd opened my suitcase. Latham still didn't feel real. Not yet. I'd encountered it, tiptoeing around the corridors out of sync with the rest of its residents, but I hadn't yet become one of them. It was the end of September, and I was 17, and my senior year was taking place 400 miles away, without me. I tried not to think about that as I waited for my tour guide outside the dormitory, in the early morning chill of the mountains. I tried not to think about any of it, because I was pretty sure the full weight of my situation would crush me. Instead, I thought about wet flip-flops and math problems and my cell phone, which I'd had for a few brief hours in the car and which had been taken from me upon arrival. According to my information packet, your first-day ambassador, Grant Harden, will meet you outside your dorm at 7:55 a.m. to take you to breakfast and help you find your first class. So I waited for Grant to show up while everyone else streamed past me, shuffling toward the dining hall in a motley assortment of sweatpants and pajamas, like we were at summer camp. Of course, Grant was running late, so I stood there forever, getting more and more annoyed. It seemed ridiculous that I couldn't just find my own way to breakfast, or to Latham's one academic building, that I needed to be publicly escorted. I glanced at my wrist. 8:09. I didn't know how much longer I was reasonably expected to stand there, so I waited another few minutes, then gave up and walked to the dining hall. It was easy enough to find the place, to pick up a tray and join the line of half-asleep teenagers. I was right. I hadn't needed some kid to show me around after all. It was just a cafeteria line. I took a bowl of cereal and a little milk carton, noting that my old high school had carried the same brand of milk, featuring this weird, grinning cow's head. How strange. For everything to shift so drastically, but for the milk cartons to stay the same. I slid my tray along the counter, past the plates of eggs and muffins and toast. But it wasn't until I heard someone yell for a friend to save him a seat that I realized my mistake. I was totally alone. I'd been so impatient to get to the dining hall that I hadn't thought it through. Maybe if I'd gone into the bathroom that morning along with everyone else, pitching myself into the chaos instead of avoiding it, I could have found someone to walk over with. Now, I didn't even know who lived on my floor, and I was fast approaching the front of the line without even a cell phone to rescue me from the total disaster of having nowhere to sit in a crowded dining hall. I was thinking that I couldn't have screwed this up worse when the nutritionist frowned down at my tray like I'd personally disappointed her with my choice of breakfast cereal. "That's it?" she asked. "I'm not really hungry." I never was in the mornings. My appetite usually slept in until noon. "I can't sign off on this," she said, as though I should have known better. "If you're too unwell to eat a full meal, you talk to the hall nurse before breakfast." Too unwell. God, how embarrassing. "It's my first day," I said desperately. "I didn't know." I glanced behind me, uncomfortably aware that I was holding up the line. Way to make an impression. I hadn't known it was possible to fail breakfast. Actually, I should have known. Grant should have told me. "You can go back through for some protein, or you can take a strike." She glared at me, all pursed lips and leathery tanned skin, waiting. The thought of slinking to the back of the line with everyone watching filled me with a sense of horror. She couldn't mean it. But apparently she did. "Well?" the nutritionist asked. I wished I were the sort of guy who'd take a strike, whatever that meant, just to prove that I didn't have to play by the system. But I wasn't. At least, not yet. I was a head down and grades up.